These are my ups and downs for Wolfpack Season 1, Episode 7, Lion's Breath. Credited writers on this episode are Carlos Foglia and Alessandra Yara del Castillo. The director is Kristen Taylor. Director of photography is David Daniel. If you do not want to be badly spoiled on what is a wonderful episode, I suggest you stop watching this right now and get over to Paramount Plus to catch up on Wolfpack. Let me say this up front. I absolutely hate dream sequences in movies and TV shows. That's just a personal thing for me. I hate them because there are never any real stakes involved. It's just this weird glimpse inside the mind of a character. So, yeah, I hate dream sequences. Except in this one specific case. I absolutely love this Everett and Baron dream sequence. It's like all ups from me. I'm in love with this whole thing because somehow this show, through all of Everett's prior heightened mental episodes, has set me up for a dream sequence with a sense of genuine danger. Every time I was convinced it was just a dream, director Kristen Taylor did something to make me think it might be one of those wide awake hallucinations. Every time I was convinced it was just a hallucination, they did something physical with Baron, and that convinced me this had to be a dream. Then Phoebe came along and it was absolutely a dream, but then the lights shift, and if it was a dream, it was somehow fully immersive, tickle your balls virtual reality. But enough about the way it was put together. Let's get into the specifics on this. Up for the growly naked guy in the corner. Up for this new thing Everett does to check his current status. Solid as a rock. Up for I don't actually need my medication. I know people are going to scream that folks with mental illness often go off their meds thinking they feel fine when they're actually not. Sit down, Karen. It's an up in this very specific case. Huge up for this back in the mirror thing. I have no idea. I don't know exactly why this creeps me the F out, but creeped the F out I am. Ugh, so good. And can we just sit with this image for a moment? It is everything they talked about last week. A werewolf literally forged in fire. Big up from me for Burning Wolf. Okay, the Naked Baron thing was almost a down for me. I haven't seen this much ass since I canceled my OnlyFans subs. I don't know why, but this began to annoy me. Maybe it was just one cheek over the line in this sequence. I don't know. Anyway, it's not a down, but it almost was. Okay, this really should be a down. This effect does not work on so many levels. The perspective is off, the lighting isn't right, so many things wrong with this. But it is really effective. I don't know why, but hovering ghost white sprite face scared me more than if they'd had the big wolf lunge through that opening. This technique has to be lifted from somewhere. It's a film or something that I can't remember right now. It's got a real feel of familiarity about it. But Kabuki Face Bear in there, such an up. This is going to take all day if I do every single thing. So quickly now. Up for the water, adding an element of WTF. Up for Phoebe and the callback to American Werewolf in London, where the victims of the werewolf come back for a visit. We get a specific up for Phoebe's line about Baron turning on the pack if they make him mad. Also for Wide Mouth Radio Phoebe, broadcasting what may be Austin's last performance. Up for Chase Liefeld throughout this entire thing. Bro is ass out naked all day shooting this, but manages these emotional peaks and valleys. There's way too much awesome in all of this to mention every single thing. I renew my description of Baron as the lost and wandering confused ghost. I love this character. And that is literally 2.5 pages of ups, and we're only 9 minutes into this episode. I am already exhausted. Moving on, up for the delightfully nasty Kendra. Good morning to you, mommy dearest. Up for making Rodrigo cry. Now, I'm usually 100% against maudlin emotional pap, but considering this guy slept with a gun and a bunch of silver bullets just in case his kids decided to eat him, I will allow this show of emotion. Up for Kristen Ramsey. I'm just going to skip ahead here and give a solid up for all the Ramsey in this episode. Ramsey bluffing about what she knows and pleading silently with her eyes that Ranger Briggs be the one, the guy she can actually trust. If he were to open up and tell her the truth, the dam of emotions in her would drown them both. All of that is pent up just behind her eyes throughout this episode. It's just so good. It's well constructed, it's well played. Huge up for me. Up for Nevada Jose this episode. The kid is he's just so real. I absolutely believe his performance 100% of the time. I am going to give a down for Daddy Navarro leaving Danny on his own. I know. I don't know his life, but the performance is so good here that even he knew he was doing something wrong and was talking himself into the everything will be okay for 10 minutes thing. Still, that's bad form, Dad. Up for Phoebe in the bathtub. Of course, I immediately thought of how your cat brings little dead presents and dumps them on the doorstep or at the foot of your bed. This is a gift for Blake.
You woke up with a naked guy in your room, you wouldn't be scared? No.
This gets it up. Nothing at all needs to be said about it beyond what was said about it. The same goes for this exchange with sassy Blake.
She's right. I wanted to kill your dad. Like fucking rip his throat out. That's in your head, not mine.
I have really come to love these figuring it out scenes with the pack. So an up for everything here. Okay, this is actually a down for me. I love these two together, but this literally stopped all forward plot momentum for a kissy scene. It was brief, but still, I groaned when it started. But then I was so delighted for Kendra's appearance because I just love her character so much. This next bit is a little complex for me to judge. I like assertive Everett. I don't like a kid bullying his mother, no matter how much a queen of self this new Narcissus might be. I'll split the difference. An up assertive Everett, a down for bullying flesh and blood Lady Narcissus. I'll get more into all the talk about werewolf cures in canon observation, but this Luna and Ranger Briggs exchange was a nice piece of work, except for this bit. It is a down, but only for me specifically. As to a cure for werewolves, Briggs says this.
You mean like a cure?
Is there one?
Yeah, the one that cures all ailments. Death.
Okay, you see, Jeff Davis used this line in a web series, Search for a Cure, back in 2011. Again, I am probably the only person alive who noticed that. But like the Zeus thing a couple of weeks ago, these little callbacks to the other show are reminding me that I'm watching television, taking me right out of the action. Up for the Danny reveal. That kid knows what's up. I really hope he gets a chance to communicate it. Down for the socioeconomic shaming of Mr. Navarro in front of his kids. Completely uncalled for on all levels. Huge up for all the various types of tension generated in this Scully and Smolder sequence. So good. You remember what I said earlier about stopping the action for a kissy scene? Yeah, well, this is the opposite of that. The Austin Luna thing is a huge part of the plot, and the dialogue between them and the performances in all their stuff together is just perfection. It's genuine life or death consequences all wrapped up in infatuation and teenage angst, and a healthy dose of self-awareness. I absolutely love these two together.
Dude, can I get one of those?
Up for Rain or Dawn. Such a great moment of levity in a cloud of doom and gloom. Okay, y'all knew this was going to be my up above all ups. I whined a lot last week about how I didn't get this flashback sequence when Malcolm was telling the story. I didn't get it last week because we needed to see it come from Kristen Ramsey herself. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing. Just watch it again. It is great. In amongst all the ups here, I have one tiny, minuscule, really almost invisible down for this sequence, and that is how little this looks like Kristen Ramsey. I know they had to use stunt doubles and the dirt and the hair and all that, and I think this is why they held the flashback for Ramsey herself to introduce. I don't think I would have known for sure it was her if they had not done the bookend fiery eyes memory face. Again, a tiny down in what is surely the up above all others in an up-filled episode. Here's another kissy thing that does not stop the action. I just feel like I have to justify my criticism of that. I'm not against kissing per se. It just has to flow naturally in amongst whatever else is happening. This scene does that. So does this one, BTW. A huge up for the entire Scooby-Doo plan. From top to bottom, this is grand television. Blake's super speed, Everett's strength kicking in, the group wolf out, the calling of the name. Oh, just so good all around. And an up for Austin's final act. It wasn't according to plan, but if you think about it, it makes perfect sense for the bait to bite back. Okay, over to canon observation. Everett's strong mental bond is on display. They mention that it's like when the pack feels things from each other, but Everett's appears to be more heightened. We've seen it with both Blake and Baron now. He is deeply in their heads specifically. But strong emotions seem to affect everyone, as we saw last episode and in this freezer scene this time. What's left of Baron is absolutely nutso cuckoo inside the big wolf. He has completely lost it, and I'm not sure what we'll get if they manage to bring him back. The Kristen Ramsey is a werewolf theorist. We're absolutely right. Good for you guys. Congratulations. But it remains to be seen if Baron and the rest are related to her. She did drop the hint that she'd treat the Rangers kids as if they were her own, but I'll say it again, it's not canon until we see it on screen. It remains to be seen if Baron is actually their brother. I mean, it's Everett who has the strongest link to him, and Everett is bitten, not one of the born. And I can't help but remember just how confident all that "my real father" talk was during the first half of the season. It appears Kristen Wolf could turn from animal to human at will, but it is not easy. And she looked absolutely wrecked once she was done. There is no wolf to fully made up pretty transformations in this show. Let's talk about the myths. Silver works in a minor way. The calling of the name thing, while it worked well on Harlan, it only managed to stun the fully wolfed out Baron. The stopping of the heart transformation back to human. That is in every Wolfman movie going back to the Universal Pictures age. It makes perfect sense the way Everett explained it. It is a protection method. It hides their true nature even after death. But I still have questions on its effectiveness as a full cure for the big monster wolves in this universe. We get just one more episode of Wolfpack. It'll stream on Paramount Plus next Thursday, Friday in some other countries.